My husband cheated on me with my mother for 22 years. And when I finally caught them, I was 7 months pregnant. I wish that was the worst part. It wasn't. Because a few weeks later, DNA tests revealed that 2 of my brothers were actually my husband's children. Yeah. Take a second to process that. My husband, my mother, 22 years, secret children. And somehow, I was the last person to find out. I'm a 40-year-old woman. My husband and I had been together since we were teenagers. We met at 15, started dating young, and never really separated after that. At 17, I got pregnant with our first child. We moved in with my parents for a while. A year later, we got married. Back then, life felt simple. My grandparents owned a house next door to my parents. When they passed away, my father inherited it and let us move in. My husband and I were grateful. We built our family there. Over the years, we had more children. A son, another daughter, then another little girl. And recently, I became pregnant with what was supposed to be our last baby, a boy, due in April. Everything seemed normal. Maybe not perfect, but normal. We still went on dates, still bought each other gifts, still spent time together. We weren't one of those couples constantly fighting. Honestly, if someone had asked me to rate my marriage before New Year's Eve, I would have said it was pretty good. Then, everything exploded. I had gone on a short girls' trip. Nothing crazy, just a few days away. But being nearly 7 months pregnant was making me uncomfortable. I wasn't sleeping well. I was exhausted. So I decided to come home a day early. That decision changed my entire life. I walked into my bedroom and found my husband having sex with my mother. Even now, saying those words feels unreal. I remember freezing, like my brain just stopped working. I couldn't process what I was seeing, but then something happened that somehow made it even worse. My mother looked at me and screamed at me to get out of their bedroom. Their bedroom. Not my bedroom, not our bedroom, their bedroom. To this day, I still can't understand how she thought she was the victim in that moment. Unfortunately, my oldest daughter was home. She was getting ready for a party. She heard the yelling, ran out of her room, and saw my nearly naked mother running back to the house next door. My daughter was devastated. She immediately left to stay with relatives. Before anyone else found out, I demanded answers from my husband. I wanted the truth, the whole truth, and that's exactly what I got. I just wish I hadn't. He admitted the affair started when I was 18. 18! We had barely started our married life. According to him, he and my mother had been secretly meeting ever since. Not for months, not for years, for over 2 decades. They were having sex at least once a month, sometimes more. The affair had lasted longer than many marriages. Then I started doing the math, and suddenly another horrifying possibility hit me. My younger twin brothers were 20 years old. So was my son. The timeline overlapped exactly. I realized there was a chance my husband wasn't just cheating with my mother. There was a chance he had fathered my brothers. I immediately called my dad. I told him to come over alone. No explanations, just come. When he arrived, I made my husband tell him everything. Watching my father hear that confession was one of the worst moments of my life. My parents had been high school sweethearts, more than 40 years together. Gone, just like that. When my father confronted my mother, we could hear the screaming from the other house. Nobody slept that night. After a few days, my sister and I made a decision. We were done protecting them. So we gathered the family together, extended relatives, adult siblings, even members of my husband's family. Before we talked, my daughter took all the younger kids downstairs and put on a movie. Then I stood in front of everyone and told them exactly what had been happening. You could have heard a pin drop. Then chaos started. People crying, people yelling, people refusing to believe it. Most of the family supported me, but not everyone. Some relatives thought I should have kept it private. Some thought exposing them publicly was cruel. My husband's family blamed me almost immediately. Apparently destroying the 22-year affair was worse than having one. I think that makes sense. Word eventually spread outside the family. One of my mother's closest friends heard rumors and called me directly. She wanted confirmation. I gave it to her. That friend happened to be involved in leadership at my mother's church. Not long after that, my mother lost her position as the children's pastor. Now she tells people I ruined her life.
But I wasn't the one sleeping with my daughter's husband for 22 years? My father kicked her out. She's currently living with one of my sisters. Meanwhile, my father demanded DNA tests. He said he couldn't move forward until he knew the truth. Honestly, neither could I. Those results took forever. Every day felt like a year. Part of me hoped I was wrong. Part of me prayed I was being paranoid. Then, the results arrived. I wasn't wrong. The twins were my husband's biological children. My brothers were fathered by my husband. I don't think I've ever felt that sick in my life. At that point, whatever was left of my marriage completely died. I kicked him out. He's living with his parents now. And he's furious. Not because he destroyed multiple families. Not because he lied for 22 years. Because he's losing money. A few years ago, he started an HVAC company. For years, I helped build it. I ran the office, handled paperwork, managed operations, put my own career on hold to help make that business successful. Now, we're divorcing. And Steve Ross says marital assets are split. He's suddenly realizing what that means. Meanwhile, the house we lived in belonged to my father. Inherited property. So neither my husband nor my mother gets a penny from it. That reality has made both of them extremely unhappy. Honestly, I don't care. The hardest part isn't even the legal battle. It's the memories. Looking back and realizing how many lies I believed. How many moments were fake. How many times he probably left my mother's bed and climbed into mine. Maybe the same day. Maybe the same hour. That thought makes me physically sick. And somehow, it gets worse.
When I was pregnant years ago, my mother became pregnant too. Back then, I thought it was cute. I thought we were sharing this special experience together, mother and daughter, pregnant at the same time. Looking back now, she was carrying my husband's child, my children's half-sibling. How do you even process that? I've started therapy. My adult children are in therapy too. Stress has wrecked my health. I've developed digestive issues, ulcers, constant anxiety. My 14-year-old knows why we're divorcing. She's furious with her father. The older kids have completely cut him off. The younger children still don't know. And I want to keep it that way for now. They're kids. They deserve to be kids. As for how they managed to hide the affair for 22 years, simple. They had opportunities everywhere.
church offices, cars, motels, our homes, even my husband's business office once I returned to teaching. If I hadn't come home one day early, they'd probably still be doing it. That's the part that keeps replaying in my head. Not that they cheated. Not that they lied. It's knowing they would have kept going forever. Without guilt, without remorse, without ever telling me. But the worst thing my husband said came later, during mediation, after everything had already fallen apart. He explained how the affair started. Apparently he got angry with me over something years ago. Instead of talking to his wife, he talked to my mother. She comforted him, then they slept together. After that, it became a habit, a lifestyle, a secret relationship, 22 years long. Then he looked at me and said something I'll never forget.